Welcome, everybody. Today is December 20th, 2023. Welcome to the Android Insight Call. Here on this platform, we talk about Android. Whether it's your smartphone, your Android tablet, your Fire tablet, whether it's your Alexa device, your Google device, we talk about anything that's running on the Android platform. So come and enjoy, come with your questions because we are a community that helps each other to learn more about our devices. I am Ava. I am one of your hosts on the call tonight. And my co host, Hershey.
Hey everybody, good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight, and look forward to listening to your questions tonight.
Yeah, so let's just do a little bit of housekeeping real quick. Um just know we are hosted by iBug, and if you want to sign up for anything like the newsletter of what's going on during the month, if you want to check out our cast to look at old shows, to be able to scroll and check out something you've missed before, please go to ibugtoday.com and you will find out all the information there. You can even sign up there and you will get an email from iBug about the upcoming events that's happening. At like Friday night is our movie night. And this week's movie is It's a Wonderful Life, the 1946 version. So that'll be Friday night. Come and enjoy with us. It's on Central Standard Time, so I believe the movies start. You can start signing in around 7:30, and they do a great job before the movie and after the movie. Hang around because there is a lot of questions and discussion that goes on. Um, Anything else, Hershey? We need to. Okay, well, just know you can find us on YouTube as well. So come on and enjoy iBug. You can go to iBug today, and you can find any and all of our podcasts listed there. So if you miss something, you can always have the chance to go back and re-listen. All right, so let's see who we have out here tonight. So if everybody can just introduce themselves. Don't be shy.
Hi, I'm Janice from Maryland.
Hey, welcome, Janice.
Ah, what the
Thank
oh,
you.
Jesus. Oh,
Okay. Who else do we have out here?
This is Dan from Southern
Hi,
California.
hi. This is B. Fazil from Vancouver, Canada.
oh,
Welcome. Okay.
And Michael in Houston.
yes.
Oh, welcome, Michael.
And this is Scott from Glendale, Arizona, Phoenix area.
Ah, welcome, Scott.
Welcome, welcome.
Oh, Ava, I had one other announcement.
Yes.
Since this is the last meeting, iBug meeting of the year, iBug's taking a break from the 23rd. Well, after the Friday meeting or the Friday movie this Friday, there'll be a break. Nothing will be happening the 23rd through the 30th. But we will be back on the 31st, New Year's Eve. What we're going to do there is, since we don't have the Friday night movie that week, we're going to have a movie night for New Year's Eve. If you're looking for something to do New Year's Eve, we'll have the movie regular. Well, actually, we're going to start early, meeting at 7 p.m. for the pre-movie social time, and then have a movie, and then we'll simulcast the ball drop in Times Square over the Zoom there. So if you want to join us for that, everybody's welcome to join us.
All right, I see a party going on. Even if it's virtual, at least you know you're
Yeah.
safe. You can have whatever fun you want now. But yeah, as Michael said, this is our last call of the year for 2023. It has been a wonderful year with everybody. So, y'all, let's end it on a high note, and let's go ahead and jump right on in. Any questions, comments?
This is Dan with a question or comment, a little bit
Yes.
of both. Okay. I am in the process of talking myself into buying a smart speaker, an Amazon Echo Show 8, and
Okay.
I'm wondering if anybody on this call has one, and what do you think of the audio, and can you really actually put a can up there in front of the camera and it'll just tell you, yeah, that's a can of soup or whatever it is. So I just wonder if anybody has any comments about that Echo Show 8.
Okay. So we'll throw that out there to anybody. Does anybody have has a comment for him or?
Yeah, Dan, this is Janice. I have it. Um, the sound is great. Um, the feature about holding up, cans or, products, it needs to see the barcode. So it'll kind of guide you a little bit. Not as good as maybe some of your apps on your phone, but it'll say, raise, lower, rotate the can. But I don't really find myself using it because it's not as spot on as say maybe I use Lookout on my Samsung phone, and actually I just added Seeing AI on there with their, what is it called, Quick Text or whatever. I think I think those two are really kind of better even than trying to read things with the Echo Show. But the sound quality is great. I have it in the kitchen, and a lot of times when I'm preparing food, I'll, you know, tell Alexa to play whatever.
Okay. Do you use the voice view on the Echo Show? You can use gestures. Do you use that at all?
No, I just use my voice. I just
Okay.
audibly tell her to do whatever.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Hey. Yeah, I have the Echo Show in my kitchen as well. I use show and tell just when I'm cooking to hold up something, especially if I don't want to touch my phone. But it is like you say, like Jenna's saying, the voice is really good. I've done the gestures on there, but I try not to touch the screen if I don't have to. But it's good for me when I pull up recipes and I want to follow a recipe, so I don't have to do anything. So I use it for that more so in the kitchen as well.
Right. So when you do that, it'll read one step at a time to you.
Hmm.
So that's good.
Yep. Okay, I've heard some more people come in. Our comment on question on the floor is about the Echo Show 8 and Show and Tell. So if anybody else has one or has a comment about it, please feel free to join in. If not, do we have any other comments or questions?
This is Richard.
Yes, hi, Richard.
Yeah, I'm getting. I don't have one. It's just a keyboard, and I don't have one at all. I've been just using the keyboards on the screens of my Fire TV and the Android phone. I just been using the screen keyboard. I'm trying to think of if an actual keyboard would be better to use. I'm thinking it is, but I don't know what versions are out there and which one is going to be the better one to use. And I don't know if they will connect to everything in this house.
Okay, Richard. I'm going to throw that one out to the everybody out there. So, if anybody can step in and help Richard out.
Did he stump us?
Yes. Okay. Okay, well, um, I'm like you, Rich. I mainly use my keyboard on my phone as well as the keyboard on the TV. We will have to see, do a little research and get back with you next month and let you know if there's any keyboards out there that could work with both, or if you would end up having to purchase two separate keyboards. Okay.
Yeah, because the one when I use the phone keyboard and stuff that pops up, I got to keep chasing the keyboard down, keep chasing the letters down. It moves it over to the left, it moves it over to the right, and I got to keep chasing the letters down, and it turns into alphabet soup after I get done. And
Mm-hmm.
if the letters can stay put, and an actual keyboard is like the only way I can see that happening where they would stay put. And as far as I know, Bluetooth keyboards, majority of Bluetooth connects to almost anything, and I'm thinking maybe the keyboard will just connect to TV, connect to my iPad, connect to anything as long as Bluetooth is ready. But that's why I'm asking, because I'm really not sure when it comes to that and what would be the best one, because I heard too there's several different kind of keyboards out there as far as I know too.
Yeah, there are several different keyboards out there, and yes, as long as Bluetooth is inactive and it's compatible with that device, then yes, the keyboard will connect. But we will get back with you next month and let you know, okay?
Thank you.
Now, wait, let me start. What type of phone do you have?
Well, luckily now I have gotten a new one after a couple of months of arguing and fighting to get the new one. I got a Revel 5 Plus G, and so that was this year. It came out, so
Okay.
it's a Revel 5G, or I mean Revel 5 Plus G is what it is.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we will get back with you next month about keyboards because that is something I've been interested in and looking at for my phone as well. So if I have
And
to
for
do
my
long
TV,
typing, yes.
my TV's the Fire TVs, and that's Insignia, and it's not really that bad for the TV keyboard. I mean, at least the keyboard on the TV, you just push the arrows up, down, left, right. That one's not too bad to follow the letters there, but I
Hmm.
still would like to have something easy just to bang, bang, bang and get it over with.
Okay. Okay.
This is Dan with some general comments about keyboards.
Yes, Dan.
I'm not really all that familiar with Android and pairing, but I've heard a lot of good things about the Logitech keyboards, the 400 series, and I know that uh, a Logitech keyboard and an Apple keyboard will pair with an iPad. Um, I don't know about the Android phones, but I would say start off by researching the Logitech keyboards and see what you come up with.
Okay. That's a good suggestion, Dan, because I love the Logitech keyboards because I use those with my computer. But yeah, that'll be one I look into as well. Thank you for that suggestion, Dan. Okay. Any other questions
Ye-
or comments?
Yes,
Ava,
I do use.
Okay, that was
Yes,
two people.
ye-
So
I'm sorry. Yes, I do use this 400K the Logitech too, and it's very good. It connects it to Android, it connects to iPhone, and it does a good job really.
okay. And you said that's the Logitech 400. Okay. Well,
Yes, I think Ava, that was the 480 that he mentioned.
480. Okay.
And this is Hershey, by the way. For other keyboards that I have used or I do use, the Logitech MX Mechanicals are a little bit more expensive. They're at the $150 range, but they give me my mechanical fix, and then I could control 3 devices. So the 480 is a smaller, compact design. 380 and 480 are roughly around 30 to $40 last I checked. It's been a while. Um, Logitech have a lots and lots and lots of keyboards to choose from, so have fun with what might be the best for you specifically. But those are just a couple to piggyback off of what Faisal said. All right. Well, more questions, more thoughts. Please keep them coming.
well, this is Janice.
Yes, Janice.
On a separate subject, I have a problem. I, I don't know if any of y'all can help or not. I have a Galaxy Z Fold 4, and I have a lot of the accessibility features engaged. Large fonts, for help me um, see somewhat my text messages or email. But I play Wordle, and probably a couple of months ago, I don't know if Samsung pushed through an update, or I don't think the New York Times did. But now when I open Wordle, I get a message saying that uh, it's it's the image is too big to fit on the screen. And so, I can play with a little bit and then I can actually open Wordle, but then the keyboard is taking up like 3/4 of the screen. And if any of you are familiar with Wordle, you get like 6 tries to, guess the word of the day. So I can only see like the first 2 tries. And after that, like I have to memorize what I've done because I can't see it. It's not being shown on the screen. And if I go into my settings and I reduce the font size, then everything will show. But it didn't used to be like that. So something happened. And within Wordle, there is an option where you can contact the, what do you call them? The, starts with a D. What is it called?
Developers.
The developers. Thank you, Ava.
Mm-hmm.
The developers. And, of course, they're clueless because, they don't know anything about, low vision or, blind users. So my thing is like, I just want it to work like it used to work, without, where the keyboard was, about, it used to be about maybe a third of the page and I could see all 6 of my tries, but something was pushed through. Any ideas on other than reducing the size of my font so then I can't, I'm not going to go back and forth, reduce the size. And then when you reduce the size and it's, then I can't see the keyboard, the letters and, any ideas?
Hey, this is Hershey. That is a bit of a tough one. I guess while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and hopefully not get made fun of by every time how I always give Google's Disability Solutions website. But reason why I say that is if we could, let's say, take screenshots of said event, or we could repurpose or re-engage that same issue, we might be able to at least reach out to Google, and then they could maybe pass it on to the Samsung side's team if that's what the issue might be.
Because I have sent screenshots to NYT, but I haven't to Google.
Right. So if you wanted to just at least get, there's 3 functional ways you could get a hold of them. One being the basic phone call part, but you're supposed to click on the button so they give you the call back instead of them having a phone number. Well, let me back up one step here. So to get there, you would go to a website named g.co/disability support, and that will land you directly into the different sections. So again, going back by the way of communication, you could click on the call me button, so they'll call you. You could email them, and then you could also use Be My Eyes. So let's say if you might have another spare device to like an old retired device, you could use that camera and say, "Hey, look, it's not working." Like you guys keep saying, we're not the silly people. Look at because sometimes
Right.
it's we feel silly because you're like, "Hey, it doesn't work. Like how can I explain
Right,
it to you?"
right,
So
right.
don't feel afraid of, we've all been in that same place, same space, spot. I personally don't have a phone to kind of give you a justification like, hey, this is exactly how it runs or this is why it's doing
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
But maybe at least we could get a ticket or two opened because a lot of people don't realize this part is with low vision devices or just with low vision comes the screen reader. So you might not be a full-time screen reader user, but you may want things to be read to you perfectly just as anybody else and then have
Right,
the verbiage of a screen reader. So
right.
I would highly recommend g.co/disability support just to get a ticket going. And
Okay,
maybe if anybody else has any more insight, then I'll leave it to you guys.
okay. Yeah, I don't read the use the overall screen reader, but I use the select to speak. I do use
Yep.
that.
And then
Mhm.
again, everybody has their own different type of tools. So I do appreciate you brought
Mhm,
that to the table. Is you may be a full time screen reader user. You may be
mhm,
select to speak user. You
mhm,
might be just magnification, and you just don't want your phone talking. So
mhm.
we have all kind of flavors to
Right,
suit
right,
everybody's
right,
needs.
right. Thank you, Hershey.
Oh, you're welcome.
This is Kevin.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Um, one thing that you might try is to go to the Wordle in under your apps and clear the data and see if you can basically reset the app to see if because it doesn't seem like it's a accessibility suite issue if it wasn't before.
Right, right,
So it should be it's something that they did on their end and it'll probably be forever before they figure out.
right,
I don't
right,
know a
right.
lot of I don't know a lot about low vision solutions or saying things from a visual point of view, but one thing you might want to try is to see if when you play that game, if you can put the font back where it was and maybe use the magnifier, the new magnifier.
Yeah, I
Instead,
use the triple tap, magnification. But the thing is, when you release your finger, it goes back, and I would still need it to be magnified to hit the letters on the keyboard.
right, I
And
heard that they were
regarding,
supposed to be with the new TalkBack or whatever, the new accessibility suite that was updated. I
mm-hmm,
thought there was supposed to be a way that you could have it on like
it could stay,
always.
mm-hmm. And again, yeah, that's an option. Um, yeah. I mean, but like I said, I don't want to go back and forth. I don't want to, take it off and do
Yeah.
that for the game and then put it back on. And regarding clearing the data, that's a good idea. But what I'm afraid to, I don't want to lose my statistics. I've got this, I'm like almost at 300 straight games won, like I don't
So
want
if it's usually, and I don't know, so don't get
to,
mad at
right,
me if
right.
that doesn't work, but usually if it's a game where you're logged in and you have an account, all of your stats and even sometimes your settings that you've set in there are fine. It just basically resets the app,
Uh-huh.
not any of your, playing through your, coins or tokens or anything
Right.
like that
Well,
that you
what would
purchased.
clear data be under? What would that be under?
So you go to settings, you go to apps, and then
Uh-huh.
I think Samsung has all the apps just listed there, but if not, you have to hit all apps
Right,
and
right,
then
right.
go down and find that app, open it, and in there you can, force stop. You can click, it's called storage and data. You
Okay.
go in there and it'll allow you to clear the cache or clear the data. They both do the same thing.
Okay.
And it
Thank
basically just
you.
kind of resets the app, but it shouldn't mess with any of your points or anything. But like I said,
Okay.
if it's a thing where you log in and have an account, then you should still have everything that you
Okay.
have.
I'll give that a try. I'll give that a try. I'll give them both a try. The G.co and that. Thank you very much.
Kevin, this is Shay. I have a question
Shay.
about this. Hi. How often would you guys recommend that we do that? Go in and clear the cache and things?
It's really not necessary to do it a whole lot because with some things, but the good thing about it is that you have to start all over with an app as far as sometimes with like setting up some of your settings. Like I said, you don't lose any of your points or anything that you purchase dealing with that app. So the good thing about it is that, like I said, it starts all over. It gives you a fresh start, gets rid of a lot of the, clutter. But the bad thing is that you have to start all over also. so, with
Mm-hmm,
some of the stuff
mm-hmm.
like assistant, you have to it's good to do it with the assistant because you'll go in there and it'll say you have over like 3 or 4 gigs of data. And so it just starts to get a little clunky or whatever if it's talking with talkback at the same time or whatever. But I wouldn't do it a whole lot because, like I said, you have to start all over and But it does help. But there's some apps you never have to do it for, and then there's some apps that if it accepts the update sort of incorrectly or kind of things get cluttered, then sometimes it's better just to reset it even after an update, especially if it's a major update. A lot of people believe in just resetting every time there's a big, huge update, not just a bug fix, but like from 3.1 to 3.5 or something like that, they would do a reset.
Thank you.
So is there a difference between a reset and clearing the cache?
No, clearing the cache basically resets the app.
Okay.
This is Richard.
Go
With
ahead, Mr. Richard.
clearing the data and clearing cache, Kevin just said, it's the same thing. And I normally do that in apps that I'm using a lot. When I'm using the app a lot can get in there and go on. So I would suggest go through the apps that you use a lot. Don't do it all the time. No, like every other day, every single day. No, I pick at least once a month. If I'm using that app a lot, I go in and just clear the cache and data out. So I would think of how many apps you're using a lot and go into those about once a month or so, or whatever you think is appropriate, and just clear the cache and data out, and that keeps it moving.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for the question. And so, any other thoughts, concerns behind that question there? Or if not, we can start off with a new thought.
Yeah.
Question.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure can.
Okay. I'm looking for either podcast or a tutorial regarding reading the X or the formerly tutor.
Okay, so to get you to this, by the way, this is Hershey. So to understand you correctly, you're looking for some kind of training to how to use said X, aka Twitter, aka whatever name for today.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, and in the sense of reading and working with it, are you potentially just trying to work with a Samsung phone or a Pixel phone? Basically, a
Yeah,
web
I have
browser.
Pixel 6. I have Pixel 6.
Pixel 6. Okay. I'm not the best person to ask because I don't have a X/Twitter account personally, but for what it's worth, it does act like a website and such that. And so with many of our applications that we look on Android, you might find that you're able to go to the website and then go ahead and navigate through, let's say, headings or controls and such that. Have you given something of that nature a shot? And I'm going to open up the stage for more people to chime in, but have you given that sort of navigation method a way of through the page, like navigating
I
through
think
heading and controls?
I think I have the app. I
Okay.
have the X app, and
Okay.
that does not give me the option of going by headings.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm gonna open up the stage. Like I said, I don't personally use it, so sorry about that. How do you pronounce your name, by the way? I just apologize. Fazil.
Fazil?
Fazil. Okay. So, Fazil G, I'm not completely sure for the exact step by step, but I will open up the stage if anybody has any experience within using X or how you might navigate it through your Android phone.
This is Kevin.
Go ahead, Kevin. I knew you would chime in
I
on
do
this
have
one.
I do have a Twitter account, and back when it was Twitter in different hands, they were dedicated or committed to accessibility, and it was easy to use. It needed a couple of improvements as far as its how fluid and responsive it was. But I will reinstall it and look at it. But I would check out I don't know which episode, but this sounds like something that the Blind Android Users podcast would probably have a segment on. And if not, you can make a request and somebody will probably do it. But I have not. I don't know what they've broken. I don't know. I'm sure they don't have the same commitment to accessibility. So, but it used to be very accessible.
Yes, Kevin, I do agree, and I forget it's something to do with blue, the color blue. I don't remember exactly what, but somebody even made a little application for like multi-platform usage and so on and so forth. But again, it's really difficult to say what the exact technique might be at current point. But do appreciate your thoughts there. Anybody else wants to weigh in on how do you navigate, aka Twitter, X, whatever you guys call it today? Foster, would you have any say so? Because I just saw you kind of sneak in here. Sorry about that, Foster. Always have to call you out, brother.
I don't really use X, so.
All right, Fazil. I think you've exhausted many of our challenges here, but I'm sure if you come back next month, Kevin or somebody could at least give it a run because we always like those challenges.
Or or do we have any ex client? No, not exactly their application, but like a third party application that can. Because in the type of tutor we used to have the two terrific and what and a lot of different applications that we can purchase and yeah, so maybe.
But what would I would say to that, Fazil, would be is this. That change that happened was to kill the third parties, right? So
Yeah, absolutely.
we didn't want
I
any
see.
bots.
Okay.
We didn't want any third parties or bots running the show. So we were going to go all in house, and that's what they ended up doing. They went all in house, except they kind of laid off all the accessibility team. So
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay.
that's the part that Kevin's kind of throwing that out there for that matter is that they ended up laying off most of the team. So
I see.
when it came
See.
to navigation and such that, tell you what, if you haven't, if none of you have, man, go check out Discord. You might just find some more meaningful value there too. It's just for the fact of information, right? And what you're going to find on one or the other, you're going to find posts and things, but you just never know what you could find within a community. So,
Okay.
I mean, for an alternative, that's all I could say for the best, second to best, because of course you already know of your Facebook's groups and what have you, and there's a value proposition there. And then for other Android related stuff, even because you could get a hold of Samsung, for example, through X still, and maybe they'll help us with accessibility. But there has become far and less companies that have stuck around in that realm, and some of them have either converted into a Discord server, so you go to like Sennheiser server or XYZ person's server and work through it that way. So at the end of the day, they're just tools to get a hold of the company. So the best suggestions I can make is if you're trying to get a hold of companies or trying to get a hold of a community, there are other tools out there. Is the best I could say.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, any more questions, thoughts, concerns?
Michael?
Go ahead, Mr. Michael.
Yeah, just concerning the X or Twitter question, what we can also do, so iBug does have a X account, Twitter account, and we have a guy, Herbie Allen, he's our...
Not to be mistaken by Hershey Allen, excuse me.
Yeah, and so he's our... well, it's now X Master. I was going to say Twitter Master.
X Master. He's our social media master, I would say. So Herbie Allen's terrific. He's always there on the Facebooks. I always hear him on our...
Fazio, if you can send an email to ibugtoday@gmail.com.
Okay.
And then we'll connect you with Herbie, and he might be able to...
All right. I would
give
do
you
that.
a little more guidance there too.
Sure.
All right, great.
Thank you, Mr. Michael. That's perfect. Yes, our team is like we said, we do a lot here at iBug, right? So we have the Android Insight, we got the movie, we got the iPhone, and sometimes knowing the differences between the different applications. So definitely we will have somebody on it, and like I said, if you send us an email, we'll be more than happy to take care of that.
Yep, I would do that.
No problem. Thank you. All right, more calls, more questions, no more calls, but then I would be busy. But no, more questions, please. Feel free to ask your questions. Just let us know your name and feel free.
This is Shay. I have just a quick question.
Okay, Shay, it better be quick. Come on, hurry up. So how quick is it? I thought we had more questions. We talked about this, no?
Yeah, I have a couple of quickies.
Okay.
So my first question is, with iPhone, it seems that since they did their big update lately, when I get text messages from my iPhone friends, they come in an MMS and I have to just click the download. They don't just pop up with the words right there. It only takes a second, but I just want to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong.
This is Kevin.
Go ahead, Kevin.
You're using Samsung Messages or Google Messages?
Google Messages.
So yes, Kevin, if I could give a synopsis, because I've heard just a snippet of this story, just a snippet. But, and this is really interesting because I was trying to share stuff the other day and I saw this. But what Shay's trying to proceed to say is, between messages from iPhone and sending whomever messages, messages seem to stack up into an MMS message. Is that kind of the idea there, Shay?
Yes, it's not multiple messages. So if somebody sends me like 3 in a row, they come in, one at a time, but I have to click the little download button for each one of them. And I didn't have to do that before. And I just want to confirm that I'm not doing something silly.
All right, perfect. Thank you for that reminder. And so, yeah, so Kevin, have we seen or have you seen, because you seem to work along with way more clients than I ever presume of, but maybe I should message Michael some more with his iPhone over there. And what I'm trying to get to the bottom of it is, has something altered where MMS message changes or alters when it's come to the other side? Or has it altered in a fashion where, let's say, if it's just a short message, you would still have to download it like a multimedia message?
That's what happened, yes.
I've seen this before. I don't know what makes this happen. I know, but clearing your data and sometimes, most of every time, I had to restart the phone. Sometimes I had to clear the data twice. I haven't had this in a long time, but I have been communicating with people with iPhones since the last update, and I'm not having that problem. But it just randomly happens. Sometimes the messages aren't coming through at all. People will swear that they sent me a message, and then I'll do a restart for whatever reason, not even thinking about the messages, and all these messages start coming through really quickly, in one conversation thread. So I don't know what makes it happen, but I would do a reset and see if that fixes it. Maybe check the box, make sure that the box is checked about viewing iPhone reactions or whatever that new feature is in the settings. Maybe that'll help it work better.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's something to check in Android, the iPhone reactions.
Yeah, when you go to the settings, there's a little checkbox that says the iPhone emoji as emoji or something like that. That's one of the things. And then also increasing your download size, the default download size from the minimum to the maximum. those are just some of the things that I always check and make sure. But I don't know what makes it happen. I know you're gonna have to reset, and you're probably gonna have to restart your phone maybe 3 times before it starts, and then they should be coming through. But I'm not having the problem of having to download. Messages are coming through right just as they send them right now.
Oh, good. Thank you.
You're welcome. You had a number 2 there, maybe, Michelle? No?
I do.
I heard 2 questions. I mean, why not?
exactly
While we're at it.
Oh, I do have 2 more. The one I think is user error that occasionally, so I have a little bit of vision, and if I hold the phone really close, almost with my nose touching, sometimes it works like a cursor, my nose. But sometimes when I'm really close, the screen, even if I'm touching it, it just will shut off and go black. And I think that's because I'm too close. But, again, if I'm doing something silly that I could stop doing, other than holding the phone so close, I'd like to know.
This is Kevin. Are you using a Pixel?
No, I have a Samsung Galaxy A32.
I don't even think that it was a proximity sensor, but Samsung doesn't use the proximity sensor, so I don't know why.
That's what okay, so let's go back to the basics. So what I first thought when you mentioned that question is your proximity sensor. There's a sensor which is part of the front facing camera thingy, and then if I put my hand towards the top half of the screen goes black. Because it thinks, hey, I'm gonna put it up to my ear. You don't want a hot phone against your face. Right? So it was trying to be smart, but having a screen reader like you do, or you're not using the screen reader, right?
I'm using it more than I ever have. Yes.
No, but in that situation when it came back,
No. Right. Yes, I can just be
so that's
looking at things on the phone.
That's the weird part because that's not a proximity thing. Proximity just means you put your hand close to the top half of the phone, like my beloved Note 9 phone. Shout out Note 9 phones, the bestest phone ever. I'm just kidding. But for that phone specifically, like it had a proximity sensor. Now my S22 Ultra decided, hey, we're gonna take away the proximity sensor and talk back. So it left me lost in this jungle of androids, right? It's like, wait a minute, which one's which? Do I not need a proximity? Do I use a proximity? So this comes about learning and evolutions over, hey, are you using a Pixel? Are you using a Sam? Like, that's why we ask you these questions, right? Which phone are you using specifically? So, for that matter, like I said, is you could go to TalkBack and go under TalkBack settings and see what's up with the proximity sensor if that's one of the cases. Number 2, place to look under the hood, so to speak. It's kind of like a car, right? You look under the battery, you look at the alternator, this thing, that thing, whatever hoses you see. Look under display because that's where the issue's happening. So under display, you might have a screen timeout. You might be able to set that screen timeout to be at a different rate or what have you, and that might help with maybe it's not you. Maybe it is 30 seconds and the screen tends to darken up because of that. That could be an issue or it could be a thing. And again, putting the hand around the proximity sensor towards the top, that sometimes can be a thing too. So those are the 2 places I could check under settings. So swipe down 2 fingers if you're using a screen reader. You should use a screen reader if you're just kidding. I know I shove screen readers to people that don't need it, but it helps us. It really does help us.
More than I do. Yeah.
So, give those little areas a shot. Go under display and see the screen timeout. Go under talkback settings. Look under the proximity sensor, and if that helps you solve it, I hope it does. Give us a shout next month to just give us a rundown of how that worked out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Richard.
More questions? More thoughts? Mr. Richard?
Yes, Richard.
I think I was going to ask if you're actually on the phone when you're doing that. When you're on the phone talking to somebody and the screen goes out, or are you just naturally messing around with the phone, playing or whatever you're doing with it?
I see it happen when I have a phone call, and I have wondered, how does it know what I'm doing? But you're on the phone, then you don't want your cheek pressing the screen. So it does it appropriately on phone calls. But if I'm just cruising around looking for stuff, it doesn't really seem to be like Chrome specifically or Instagram, or it'll do it, I believe, when I'm in Excel and Word or Docs and Sheets. It just seems to kind of pop up and do it for a little bit, and then it'll stop for a while.
Yeah, because I was coming up with the same thing he was talking about. Maybe if you're not touching it longer than you should, then the screen timeout, it will say that would be in the settings, because for some strange reason, I don't have that. My Android is the Rebel 4. I don't have that issue. Mine, I was just messing around with it now, getting close to it and playing around with it. I even covered my whole hand over it, and the screen never went out. But when I'm on the phone calls, that's when it will take over. So if I get close on phone calls, then the screen will shut off.
It'll do it when I'm just touching it and there are no phone calls involved at all. But I am really close to it, so I'm wondering if it thinks I'm going to want to make a phone call, maybe. But it's not like I'm looking in contacts or anything, and then it does it. It just does it at random.
Excuse me, y'all. I'm having some background noise that I'm hearing, and I would like to ask people to mute that are not talking, please, because that will disturb our audio.
This is Shay. I think it's me. My mom's watching Young and the Restless. I'm going to change rooms.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
shoot. I need to be sitting with your mom. I haven't seen you in a while. But, Shay, as Hershey said, what you are actually describing does sound more like the screen timeout. And yes, you would need to go to display under settings and go to timeout settings and change that, because it could be set at 30 seconds, 1 minute, for it to be doing it that often like that. And it doesn't matter, because I've had that happen when I was working on my phone at one point. You would need to change that setting to either longer or never. Okay.
You guys are
This
so
is
great.
this is Foster.
Yes, Foster.
I don't know if I don't. Well, sometimes too. On a lot of phones, if you switch your phone to battery saver, that will also reduce your screen time out. So
Thank you. I don't touch that anymore. I messed something up a long time. I did never ever touch it again.
Sounds like Shay took a play from my book.
Yeah. Trial and error sometimes. I do, since I'm kind of on a roll here, you guys are all so helpful. I just have one more question. So
I'm sorry, Shay, to the limit. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
so I got my mom a photo frame for Christmas, and I wanted to take her phone and my dad's phone without them knowing it. We're all open, everything is innocent, but I want to get their pictures off and put them on this frame. Is there a really fast way to do that, an efficient way?
So depending, and this is Hershey, by the way, depending on where you live on Amazon, Apple, Google, depending on those places that you live on, if you had the account, let's say password or username or per se,
I do.
You might be able to at least, well, there's a couple things you could do. You could do one thing that Google calls takeout, where you take out anything from that said account, and or you can, let's see, there's a couple ways. Okay, the takeout way would be the best way to pull the data off of it, off of one of the accounts to share with, the said other account. The second way would be to you could potentially share that username, that account, and let's say your mom shared an account, and they could invite you to albums
Oh, okay.
or invite you to specifics. So let's say you are trying to gather some data from a family member and you wanted to share it with the rest of the family. Well, if depending on if you're on Google, you just have to open up Google Photos, log in, and then do the dirty, and then come right back out, share it with whoever you need to, and you're off to the races. So it just depends on where and how and what devices people are using. If it's mainly an Android home, just getting into that Google Photos app and then perhaps making albums or adding said pictures to albums and then sharing those that way could be a method. And then with another good, interesting feature from Google Photos, if and say you were to say that's me. Well, I don't know what me looks like because me is vision impaired. And so me doesn't know what me is like, but if I had somebody to tell me what me is looking like, then it will know every picture of me.
Wow.
Just by the fact that I've labeled it once, it's going to know every other one that's whomever. So I don't know if that helps you in any fashion,
Yeah,
but
it really does. Wow. Yes.
hopefully it helps.
My very favorite call. I look forward to it every month, and it's you're only second to the Friday night movie. So you guys are fantastic.
Second, Mr. Michael's clues are pretty cool on Mondays. So we're going to have to talk about this one.
Yes. I don't have an iPhone, but I still go and listen. But yep.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But I appreciate that. And again, if anybody else has more insight, please feel free to share it.
This is Kevin.
Go ahead, Kevin.
One of the fastest ways, since you say that you have access to their phones, is just to do nearby share and share them all to your phone, because I'm guessing that you're going to have to get them pictures onto a SD card or a flash drive for them to show on the picture frame.
I think so. I just got the box today and haven't opened it. But that is what I think. But I think I can also then at a later time on the fly email it or send it pictures to add. I don't know what it would be called,
Yeah, I
but
think you can email. I think you can email them. So, but if you just needed to get them onto your account before you email them, then you can do your nearby share, or you can just give yourself access to their photos or whatever. But
hey, Kevin, this is Hershey real quick on that. So you could share multiple amounts of data. Like, there's no set limit for nearby share?
No, nearby share you can do big, huge.
So, Shade, I guess what Kevin's basically kind of saying is you could drop all the photos from one set device just to you, and then you decide when and how you're going to deal with it.
That is so cool because I
Does that
started
make
looking
sense?
into
Right? Is that right, Kevin? Just
it's so cool.
Yeah,
speaking out of turn.
nearby share is for sending like songs and large files quickly from device to device.
I thought I was going to have to get into their account and send like 25 pictures to myself at a time. Thank you so much.
Yes, so it might be, if they're not all in the same folder, which there might be a way with nearby share through the Files app on their phone. There might be a way to send them all, even if they're not in an album, but you might have to do a little bit of work and put them all in one folder or something so that they'll go all at once.
Wow, thank you. Okay. And I'm hoping to have this done by Christmas, so I will. I'll email the list and let you know.
4 more days. Hurry up!
Within Friday, the days start getting longer. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, I like I said, I know what you're going through with pictures and finding data and information. So, do wish you much success with this. And like I said, it is doable. There's more than one way to skin a cat, and I'm probably gonna have PETA after me after that statement, but it's okay. Guide dogs are better, right? Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions, thoughts, concerns, please feel free. It's a Christmas holiday episode, so a little silly.
Good. Thank you. I think I'm tapped out, so I'm just going to learn quietly from here on. Thank you.
Not a problem, Miss Shay. Thank you so much, and thank you for always joining us. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go there, Miss Ava. I don't know if you realize, but holy moly, like last month was terrific. It was terrific for iBug Today. Well, in a lot of ways, because a lot of shows had like these huge numbers, like 55 views on a Apple workshop that learning seeing AI and some other apps, and then our call from last month, since man Miss Jack, man, we don't have people here. Where did some of our friends go from last month? Anyhow, we had 50 viewership on our YouTube channel. So how do you get back to the YouTube channel? Well, youtube.com. Well, Mr. Michael, would you have the link to the YouTube channel? Mr. Michael, you out there? Maybe he is. Anyway, but if you just search iBug Today on YouTube, you'll find all the playlists. So coming next year, we're going to have some shows for the Buzz Call that are also going to be held on Tuesdays, all on Zoom. And then our call is every third Wednesday. So if you were to, just go to youtube.com and then type in iBug Today. You'll find playlists. You could go to View Channel and you could go to the playlist. We have 31 episodes so far. So if you do need help with whatever it is, we'll be more than happy to help you. And to add to that, if you guys want to have a raffle donation, let the upper people know. I mean, I'm just a guy here that just does the show. I show up every third Wednesday. But maybe we could give away a Pixel phone or something. If you guys think that's a good idea, well, shoot us an email. How do you do that? Well, go ahead and email us at ibug, IBUG, Android Insight, plus subscribe at groups.io. So Android, ANDROID, Insight, plus subscribe at groups.io. So iBug, IBUG, Android, Insight, plus subscribe at groups.io. Send us a blank email, and we will add you to the mailing list. And with that, if you had a question for us in the meantime, before we hit 2024, I mean, 2023 has been a rough one for me personally, just to say, but I have been so grateful and gracious to have Ava as my co-host here, Mr. Michael, Sandhya, the whole iBug team. And happy holidays to everybody, like I said, for just showing up to this call. Like, to have 50 people to view the thing again from last month. I know we talked about AI and this and that, and then when we laugh, it really feels like I'm laughing with you guys, like not at you at all, but you guys make it worthwhile for me, right? So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to Ava, to to everybody, that you guys keep showing up. So with that said, there are my sentimentals. Thank you so much, and I would love if anybody else has more questions. We're more than happy
I
to
was going
answer.
to say, with that said, does anybody have any more questions or comments for this evening?
Well, I don't have another question. This is Janice, but I do have a comment. The
Absolutely, Miss
iBug,
Janice.
the iBug calls are really my favorite, and that's sincere. And
Mhm.
and
Thank you.
all of you, Hershey, Ava, Michael, Sandhya, and Richard's always on calls, and
Right, right.
Kevin and everybody. I mean, sincerely, these are the calls I look forward to, and everybody's so smart and has so much good information, and we have so much fun on the social calls. And thank you for doing what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Miss
Thank
Janice. Like I
you.
said, like we're all one family, right? We that's one thing I just want to reiterate. I know me and Sandhya talked about this way back. Like I've been on this call for 3 years, so 2020, 2021 ish. We talked about it. We're like, hey, Android and this, we're all the same. I mean, Mr. Michael bought a Pixel phone, and so did Sandhya and everybody else. So they're coming from a pattern or a pathway that we all want to solve problems. And if we could be here for each other, then why not? I'm low vision, so to speak. Miss Ava, I call her my Amazon woman. Um, I'm surprised she didn't answer that Amazon question earlier. But anyway, but we all have our devices. We have our strengths and weaknesses. I'm just glad that we have this place for each other. And if you really want to know how to do some, what do you call it? Reset my data or app data reset and all that, ask the question. I'll do it. I promise. I might try it.
Yeah, Mandy had her hand raised, and just want to let everybody, you don't have to raise your hand. But Mandy, you had a comment that
I
you
raised
wanted
both
to
my
make?
I
hands.
do.
All
Thank you
right.
very much for everything you guys have done. I get to learn about this without having to have all these devices at my disposal to help others with it. So I love to spread the love that you guys give. And the other thing, I don't know if I missed the discussion about the Seeing AI app. I've been really wanting to hear some opinions, and some people have got to try it out, and I've been seeing the discussion about how to get the app, and I thought that was a great tip that was given out. And for somebody who was having trouble getting it on another device, and that y'all put your heads together and made it work.
Hey, so Mandy, let
And
me tell you,
I've
Mandy,
been
if I,
using it on the iPhone back
hey,
before AI was the buzzword it is today. And I just wondered if anybody's tried the Seeing AI app now that it's available on Android from Microsoft.
hey, so this is Hershey, Mandy. This is a funny one, right? I'm gonna say why it's funny here because if you join the iBug Android Insight group, you'll find some interesting things because Foster, yeah, he's on the phone call, but Foster last time when he was on, he emailed us. He's like, hey, it's still not on my Play Store, and I was one of the same people. But Kevin, thank you so much for all the 3 years. I mean, we're not going nowhere, right? Just a heads up. But thank you because we don't get to say thank you enough to you guys. But Kevin put that out there for the Seeing AI app as it was. And what was funny is when I went on Seeing AI through that link, I could download the app. I went to the Play Store and I searched Seeing AI when Microsoft Seeing AI app. Guess what? It's not there. So it didn't show up for many, many times over on any of those links. Is somebody trying to show us?
Hang on, Hershey, because we have a computer
I
in
think
the
they're trying to show
background.
us. That's Seeing AI right there, I think.
Okay.
It sounds like it. No? No? Hmm. That's fine if it was. I mean, y'all. Well, so does anybody want to know how Seeing AI works? I mean, nobody's asking the questions, though.
Well,
Yes, I'd love to hear.
Oh, now everybody wants to know. Okay. Well, anyway, so what is one benefit that I've learned from this year of 2023? Well, join the iBeg list because you don't know what kind of links you're going to get. You might get a case out of it, right? But the link was sent to the list, and that's how I downloaded Seeing AI. It's the same Seeing AI that you potentially might find on your iPhones, except it doesn't use lidar for the worldwide thingamajig. And another bit of news in the Android insightfulness is that Be My AI is now available with Be My Eyes. So those are the two apps I would say as far as newsworthy or what's coming up or what's new. Be My AI now will describe scenes and such that through the Be My Eyes app. Um, she's not listening today, but I want to give a quick shout out to Anna Parker for that one. Maybe I'll send this episode to her and she could be listening to it later on. But I found out that they were pretty much turning on the Bima AI to all or most Android users. And then you had, of course, the Microsoft Seeing AI, SEEing AI. And I have searched it on the Play Store, still haven't found it. Maybe that has changed between the 5-6 days. But Kevin had shared with us the Seeing AI link, and I clicked on it, and voila, I had Seeing AI right away. So I'm going to leave the stage open to you guys. More questions, more happiness.
There was This is Foster. What's weird with the CNAI is it seems almost kind of like, with your like with your Android, like your OS updates, how the OS updates come to certain devices before they come to certain others. So it seems like the CNAI is appearing in some people's Play stores before others, because I think Renee was saying how she was able to do it on her, pull it up on her Samsung, but wasn't able to pull it up on her Pixel. And I have a Pixel, and it didn't appear it didn't appear on my Play Store until like last week.
Well,
And
Miss
that's
Renee, shout out to Hershey. I miss you. You're not here laughing with us with AI, and I'm just like, yeah, but that's exactly where you're right, Foster. That's exactly. But she did figure out from her writing to the list. If you click on send to all my devices, it will send to your Pixel. So she did finally figure it out where it's sent to her Pixel phone. At first, it was not showing up.
Mhm.
Kevin,
Go ahead, Kevin.
I have used the app. I think it's very good. All the features that came with it. I don't know at this point. I don't know how much people are going to. A lot of iPhone users that are now on Android or that have both devices are like, it's the best thing that ever happened. But a lot of tried and true Android users are like, it's a day late, like a day late and a dollar short, because we have Envision AI, we have Lookout, we have Super Sense, and
All
so
right, Kevin.
it's
Sorry,
kind of like,
I
what's
had
the
to hit
big
a Martin
deal?
on you real quick there, Kevin. Who's the best?
Who's the best?
From so a little brief. Can I share your briefing a little bit, Kevin? Can I share what you do slightly?
What I do for a living? Oh yeah.
Kind of. So Kevin doesn't. He's in. Are you a Cadus? I don't know if you're a Cadus, but he's an instructor, right? So the reason why we pull on Kevin's arm a lot in this call is he's interacted with you guys. So if you're in Texas, y'all better hit up Kevin's place, man. He got the best tutor right there, teacher. Just saying. But give us some more insight in between of what do you say is okay. So like an Android user knows to use Google Lookout, right? And last call, like I said, I appreciate you the most here talking about these numbers and these things. We had 50 viewers to watch that video from AI. Is it AI? Is that why my numbers went up, guys? Or did you guys just like watching it again? I don't know. Did I make you laugh? I don't know. But where I'm getting at it is the numbers speak the volume, right? So what application is one using? I use Lookout. Seeing AI is on my phone. SuperSense was there long ago. Legier, aka Waste Stream Scanner, Waste Stream Reader, blah blah blah. They're all there, but why does one go to one to the other to the other to the other? And are we all ready to just kind of leave our marbles in ChatGPT land, or do we want to go back to Bard? Do we want the best color identifier? Like, I want to know it from you guys.
So this is Janice.
Go ahead, Miss Janice.
So, last month I listened to the Sing AI presentation, even though I have Android, because I found that a lot of times if I listen to the iOS presentations, I can still learn things I can do on Android. A
Thank you,
lot
Miss
of
Janice.
things
Thank you.
you either you do them the same or you just do it different. So, but so while Sandhya was giving the presentation, I downloaded it from the Play Store. And, afterwards, then I went to you to try the quick text. And it's super simple. It's extremely simple to use because you just point and it just starts talking. I haven't tried the other features, the document, the blah, 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 the money and da, da, da. But what I've found with the difference between seeing AI and Lookout, which Lookout like I use every day, it you have to kind of play with how far away you hold your phone from what it's reading when you're using Seeing AI, because it'll say gobbledygook. But the Lookout, it tells you, where to stop, and it'll take the picture and it'll clear. I think it more consistently, clearly reads what you're asking it to read than the Super Sense is. I mean, the Seeing AI is very fast, and it'll just start reading, but you kind of play with, and it won't tell you, go closer or farther away. But like if you're too far away, it's saying gobbledygook. But then you'll find if you move your camera closer, oh, okay, now I understand what it's saying. Excuse me. But with the Lookout, you don't have that guessing game.
This is
So
why we
I guess
call
it
this
just
iBug
depends.
Android Insight. I'm just saying
Right.
that, Miss Janet, that's beautiful. Like I wouldn't have thought to
I'm
look at it
sorry.
that way. No, you're perfect. Like that's where I would have looked at it that way. Is you're sharing the use case scenario. You're not just sharing, yeah, it works, it doesn't work. It's
Right, right,
how do
right.
we traverse this? Because I mean, I'm sorry to say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, 2024 might just be AI driven and ridden, and we're just gonna have to find what's gonna work best for us. Simple as that. What's gonna work best for us and the way we need it. But then we have all of these devices, and which device is going to work out better, right? I've heard Sam on Envision's podcast and the pumpkins down the street and such and such and such and such. But what is really helping us to the modern day? Like I said, Kevin came in last month, put his information in. Uh, we've used Bard. I mean, if you go to bard.google.com, you got one of the best color identifiers. And we, between last month and this month, we have Gemini now. So we don't know what Gemini has to offer. And if it's going to help the disabled or blind vision impaired uh, people, my people, then I'm more than happy than what we are achieving at this point. And again, it's you could reach out to us. That's surely there as far as any help in the meantime. And then reach out to your vendors, right? Like your vendors, you have the ability to put in your word. Like say, hey, you guys aren't doing this the right way. I would expect this better or expect that better. So we worked through this together. It's not a one man show. Like I said, Miss Ava, I am so appreciative of you. We're about 10 minutes till like the last 10 minutes of this year. Feels like we're in New Year's Eve party mode already, but we're not. But be like I really do thank all of y'all for your insight. And Android is an accessible device. iPhones are a accessible device. What we need to really work on is stop fighting each other. We all want to make everything accessible. Well, we need to work together to make those things accessible, rather than saying, "Oh, Android, hey, I don't want to buy a $200." That's just causing cause and effect for arguments. And I appreciate all the iPhone stuff. I mean, I have an iPhone 14 behind my back somewhere there. I have a Android phone. I have this phone, that phone. But if we don't ask the questions, we're never going to get to the bottom of it, and we're never going to get to the companies making it happen for us. Because I think, for me personally, access is deserved by everybody, and we should all have access. Doesn't matter if you're using a Android phone or what have you. I could show you in the next 10 minutes or 5 minutes that we have how to even show how to clear your data. But that's what it feels like today is clearing data day. But I hope you get to clear your 2023 of all your grievances and you have a blessed 2024. Miss Amazon Woman, you got any more Amazon, what is his name? Ziggy got any antidotes?
No, actually, no, we don't. But I just wanted to thank everybody because this has been a wonderful year, and I love the fact that we've had new people come on the line. We've had our regulars come back on the line, and we have been having a whole lot of fun with a lot of information. So I want to give everybody one last chance to make a comment if you have a question. Y'all, this is the time to go ahead and do it. If not,
iBug plus Android, iBug Android Insight plus subscribe at groups.io. Oh, sorry, you weren't asking me. Well, if you're not, if you don't want to, if you want to catch us on the flip side, just send us a message. We'll make sure to make sure we'll take care of you.
This is
Michael?
Kevin.
yes, Kevin.
Oh, yes, I just wanted to say because I know that I think it's Amanda or whatever was asking about people's experience, but with the apps. But I do think that it is great. Just finishing what I was saying about the seeing AI coming to Android, and I've just been doing all of the stuff that I do with Envision and all the things that I do with Lookout, just kind of testing it. So it is definitely a good app, but I'm just saying that Envision is really like amazing. And so is Lookout, and all those things that are coming to Bard are coming to the images side of Lookout. But the thing to look at or the thing to use for text and all kinds of stuff, like to me, the bigger news is the Be My AI. That is amazing.
But why? But why is
The
it
level
amazing,
of
sir?
detail,
But why?
the level of detail, the things that it gets right, the things that it makes guesses are right, that guesses about that are wrong, but it's still very like detailed. But just to be able to tell what kind of restaurant you're in, and telling you what people are doing around you and what the decor is, it's amazing.
The Envision app, is that spelled with an E or
E.
E.
EN Vision.
Okay.
And I guess they dropped AI, but yeah, EN Vision.
Michael?
Matter of fact, I heard I guess a podcast or thing, whatever they did today. Nothing's new. I mean, it's the same old. But as Kevin's alluded, like they're doing a lot. They're if everybody's try to do their own best way of connecting the community. So we just have to look at who's doing what, when, and how, and where. If they're using ChatGPT, or they're using Bard, or they're using this guy, that guy, that's the part where you have to figure out.
Okay, well, everybody.
This Michael?
Yes,
Michael's been
Michael.
trying to get in.
Are we sure we want Michael? I mean,
can you guys hear
boss
me?
man, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, just a quickie. I heard you guys talking about Be My Eyes, and I'm not sure if it's been implemented on the Android side or not yet, but I know on the iOS, got an email today saying there's another feature that they've added on now that rather than if you're trying to get help, rather than getting just a random volunteer to help you, they will you now have the option to add on friends and family, up to 20 people, create your own private support group kind of thing as a Be My Eye assistant. So I don't know if anybody's heard of that or not on the Android side, but it just was announced.
That's cool.
Yeah, so hopefully that if it's not there, it'll be coming soon. And then I just also want to just, wish everybody happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Hanukkah's just passed, but whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate, we really appreciate everybody, being part of iBug, joining in on these Android Insight calls. And, Ava and Hershey has done an outstanding job facilitating, and the other volunteers
Nah, I
that have
think it's Ava.
helped out, like we already said, Kevin and others, Foster and others that have, provided a lot of great technical support there and volunteering their time to come on this call and be a part of it. So, we couldn't do it without you guys. I mean, we wouldn't be here. And so, spread the word. Any other Android users out there? I mean, pretty much everybody has some kind of device that's, Android based. So everybody can take advantage of it.
All right. And thank you, Michael. And on that note, we are going to end tonight's call with a happy holidays. And as Michael said, I hope everybody has a wonderful Merry Christmas and a safe, and I mean a very safe and wonderful new year. So bring in the new year your best way. And we will see you on January 17th. Same time,
All right,
same
I'm
place.
not. I think I'm not done yet. I think we have 3 minutes, but let's see.
This is Richard.
Upcoming events, right? Let's figure it out. Nah, that's too many verbiage. We try to use the CNAI app. Let's figure this out. I'm looking at a website. See, work at it. Just work at it, guys. That's the encouragement I give you. Work at it. Because if you work at it, you don't know what information you'll get off the screen. I was using Seeing AI there. Nobody asked for the question. I've been asking everybody to ask me the question. No one wanted to ask me. But thank you so much. And thank you, Ava, for a wonderful year. Thank you to Kevin. Thank you to Shay. Thank you to Richard. Thank you to Michael. Thank you to everybody else that consensus. Foster. Thank you, Foster. We didn't forget you. Maybe you might have left. But thank you to everybody that has joined us over the year. It's a blessing to me that I got to know you guys. And if I could help you in the next year, write me a question, write me an email, and I hope I could answer it next year. So thank you so much, Ava. Thank you so much, iBug Today team. And we will see you soon.
Happy holidays. Take care. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank you, Shay.
Happy holidays.
Oh, take